how can you delete a Google review that someone else has posted? And did you know that having a poor Google review, maybe a poor rating of 1, can actually turn out to be a blessing in disguise, a positive thing? We'll look at that a bit later in the video. But also, how can you discern whether it's a fake review or a bad review? And how do you handle both? How can you delete a bad review, or how do you handle a fake review? Well, all these things will be covered in today's video. So I'm Zane from Zanet Design, and I'm a web designer that's helped businesses grow over the years. So if you've tried SEO and now you've realised that for your business it can grow by using Google, using Facebook and using other forms of reviews and technology, then this type of video is ideal for you, particularly if you want to know more about how you can handle Google My Business reviews. Now, it's always interesting to know what actually is your current score. So let's just get an idea of, in our community, what type of score have you got currently? Put it down in the comments below, and also put down how many reviews you've got. So if you've got 60 reviews and your average is 4.2, put those things down below, because it'll be interesting to see, amongst other businesses, what types of scores you currently have. And maybe when you come back to this in a few months' time, see if we've managed to increase that average and improve your reviews, because that's the purpose of this video today, that we're going to try and increase the average of your reviews and increase the number of reviews as well, to try and get rid of the fake reviews, and then also to see how you can improve the ability to let others see your reviews, to maximize the amount of people that see your good reviews in the coming months. Of course, when you see reviews, it's a recommendation, and over 50% of people will actually respond to a good recommendation if they're looking at your business. But in a similar way to how good reviews encourage people to be loyal, if you can subscribe down below, now that would be a loyalty to my channel, because it helps others then discover me. So if you haven't done so already and you've enjoyed my videos before, then subscribe down below. But today we're going to now particularly think about then the importance of identifying whether you have a fake review or a bad review. Now, there's nothing worse than turning up, looking at your Google My Business and suddenly seeing you've got a review, or having an email come through and you're excited to see it's a review, but it's not a good review. Maybe it's a 1.0 review. Maybe it's a comment that's really unfair. Maybe you look at it and you think, well, I don't even know who this is. Well, with all reviews, you need to handle them promptly. So that has to be said. But on the other hand, that doesn't mean responding immediately. As soon as you respond to a review, you're flagging to Google, you're telling Google that you're accepting that review. So first of all, if it's a fake review, then you don't want to respond to it. And that's probably the first thing to do, is work out, is this a fake review, or is it a genuine disgruntled customer that I need to handle? Now, how can you tell a fake review? Well, just look at the name. Is it a customer you recognise? Look at what's written. Is it relevant to your business? Is this someone you know that maybe could be disgruntled because he thinks that he's been handled badly? In fact, only you and your company, and if you've got other members of your company, only you can really meet together and decide, is this person a genuine customer with genuine cause for complaint or not? Now, if it's not, what can you do? Well, let's jump online now and I'll show you how you can handle it.
An example, I've just done a search for Delhi taxi services, and again, I've got no idea who these businesses belong to, so if it's your business, I do apologise. I'm just using it as an example. So I've just noticed here, this one has 4.6 with 10 reviews, which implies to me that the majority of people are happy, but there may be one bad review. So I'm just going to click into it to see. So the majority of 5-star reviews. It's good that he responds back, thanks them for the feedback. But you notice that here there's a 1-star review, which is why it's coming out at 4.6, which 4.6, of course, as we've seen, is actually a good score. So is this a fake review? Well, there's no information about it. So if I was the owner, I would probably report this as a fake review. How do you go about it? Well, you can click on this flag here, and then you can then just say that this review is not relevant, or it conflicts of interest, or it's offensive, or there's a privacy concern or a legal issue. But going back to here, if you have a review and it's clearly makes no relevancy, there's no comment, or the comment doesn't relate to your company, then it's worth flagging. And here's just another tip. If that's the case, if you flag it, Google may review it. If you have 2 or 3 people in your company flag it, then Google will definitely review it. Why? Because you need normally 2 or 3 people to report something as being inappropriate for Google to take action. If you did respond to it, so if I was the owner and I replied to it, let me show you an example of someone who replies to. So here is an estate agent, and they respond to their business. Now, by responding, in effect, you're validating that is a customer. So just hold back from validating something you think is a fake review. Now, of course, if you get a bad review, then it may be that a customer is genuinely not happy. So maybe they've given you a 1-star review and they say, I'm really not happy with the service that I was given. So if that's the case, what can you do? Well, you could respond to it immediately and say, can we get things sorted out offline? You could say to the person, thank you for your feedback. I'm really sorry that you've had bad service. That isn't the way we deal with our customers. Maybe give me a call, or if I can give you a call, and we can sort these things out. I would put that as a response from the owner. And then I then call them immediately and find out what the issue is. I'd get it resolved. And once the customer's happy, you could just at the end say, is there any chance you could remove that 1-star review? And if that was the case, I'm sure they would be more than happy to do that if you've managed to obviously sort out their issues and their concerns. But of course, it doesn't mean the end of the world if you get 1 bad review. Just as an example, if we take Google, so I just searched for Google, so you think that Google would rig it, but notice their average is 4.0, they've got 101 reviews. This is just one of Google's buildings. What does this mean? Well, it means that as much as they get lots of 5-star reviews, they also get lots of 1-star reviews. If I take the lowest rating here, look at this. They don't actually respond, by the way, but then that's probably because they have so many to respond to. But lots of people here putting genuine reviews that show that they're not happy with certain things. They don't get responded to by Google. But the point is, this doesn't stop Google rating. In fact, that's the worst score I could find amongst Google's buildings. If I go back to the results, you'll see that on average, they have 4.1, 4.3, 4.3 with thousands of reviews. So the fact is the more reviews you get, the more it dilutes down the effect of the 1.0, the bad review, the genuine bad review, if you can't fix it in the first place. And just to demonstrate that, I just want to show you how it works. So let's presume here you've got a 1.0 review. And I'm going to show you how you can get it to something like, say, 4.8, which is well above what they're suggesting as being acceptable. So how do you go about that? Well, it's just some simple maths, really. If you start off with 1 review, a bad review, and then you go out and you get 20 good reviews. So these are good reviews, and they give you 5-star reviews, which are normally not too difficult to do, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So 20 times 5-star reviews gives you 100. Now you've already got 1 here, plus your 100 gives you 101. So your score at the moment, with in effect 21 reviews, is 101. So let's do the maths here. If you've got 21 reviews and they come to 101, then if you divide it by the 21 reviews, what does this average out at? Well, it comes out at 4.8, in fact 4.81. So that's how you get, you basically dilute down the 1.0 so that it barely affects your score. So as you can see, the 1.0 here has very little effect on all the 5-star reviews you've collected since. And that's why it's so important to get a nice trickle of new reviews coming through on a regular basis.
So it's interesting that actually trust isn't built on a 5.0 alone. If you don't have a 5.0 review, then it's not anything to be too overly concerned about. As we've seen, really to have a 4.8, and it still falls within the area that's been most recommended as the most trustworthy of your brand or business, and that's between 4.2 and 4.5. So it's an interesting study there. So in effect, it's more credible if amongst all the glowing reviews, you have just a couple that show that you're not perfect. But remember, the way you handle it, the way you comment on those bad reviews is what's probably the most important part of any review, how you respond when things don't go perfectly well. So that's all kind of positive stuff, making negatives into positives, which is really important. So if you've commented below and you've got a 4.2 to 4.5 for your reviews on average, then you're probably doing better than those that have a 5.0. So how do you get more reviews? Well, you need to watch this video now that I've produced that's going to show you how you can get more reviews. And if you already get more reviews and you're getting regular amount of reviews, then have you exposed it? Have you maximized its exposure? Have you managed to show off your reviews? Well, there's ways to do that through social media. And this video is going to show you how you can do that, how you can maximize the fact that you've got great reviews, but allow now people to see that. So I join you over there.